Hi, this is the last day of Techoodle, our virtual summer camp this year. Today we're going to be collaborating to create some digital artwork that is based on David Hockney's digital artwork. So you're going to need to have a friend to be able to do this with. I have got Ben, who is here.
Hello.
So today, with my buddy Ben, we are going to be showing you all the tools on a website called Aggie, which is a great website whereby you can both be working on the same piece of digital artwork at the same time. So we're going to be using David Hockney's digital artwork today as our inspiration and essentially creating forgeries of his work. So they're going to look exactly like his work, but done in our own sort of style on Aggie. And because you're collaborating with two of you working together, it's going to be really important that you talk to each other, that you chat to each other and sort of decide how to create it. And David Hockney doesn't do that, he just works by himself. Then let's get started. Okay then, so Ben is going to be showing you how to organise your desktop so that you can see the image, which you can see on the right, and your page from Aggie on the left, and talk us through just a couple of the features with the colours and the layers, and then we're going to get crack-a-lacking. Ben.
Yeah, so because we're doing a forgery today, we need to be able to see the image that we copy in, but also our Aggie interface so we can do the artwork. So on my computer, I've got a window with the artwork on the right, and then Aggie loaded in a separate window on the left. And that just means we can do some painting and see what we're painting at the same time. And in Aggie, on the top row, there are some viewing tools. So there's a zoom in and zoom out button that makes our canvas bigger and smaller, and we can rotate it around as well. So I'm going to rotate mine round so it's portrait.
Just so that everybody knows, I also have to rotate my page the same way as well, in the same direction, because both me and Ben are working on the same page on Aggie.
So once you're connected to Aggie, you can probably see a character at the top, and that's you, and you can rename that. And you can click on the little plus button and invite users to your Aggie session. And you can see that I've invited Chloe there already, and she's already joined my session. But if you click on that little person plus button, that will give you a link to share with your partner. And there's also a little chat section where you can write messages to your partner as well.
Can you show us some of the drawing features and some of the layers as well?
Yeah, okay, so on the left-hand side, there's two tools that we're mainly going to use. One is pencil and one is brush. They're pretty much the same thing, but brush is a little bit more advanced. So if you click on the brush icon, you can then pick a color from the controls in the middle. And below that, you have size. So I can make bigger or smaller brushes. And the other key one is opacity, which is the kind of see-throughness. So the transparency of your brush can be more or less transparent. And hardness as well can be reduced if you want a nice soft brush edge rather than a kind of hard chisel brush. So it gets sort of softer edges on it.
So kids, just so that you know, Ben is green. I'm now going to add some red. So just so you know, Ben is not making this image, I am.
So you can both work at the same time on the same piece of paper.
Let's talk about the layers.
Okay, so on in Aggie, you can see there's a number of layers. Now, some of these layers belong to you and some of them belong to your partner. And the good idea to keep things organized when you make a new layer or you have a layer that you're working on, is to name it, and so you and your partner know that it's yours. So if you double click on the layer, I'm going to call mine Ben and Green. And Chloe, if you label one of yours, you should be able to see that.
Chloe and Blue.
Okay, so you can see that Chloe's layer is this one and my layer is this one. And that just means we can be sure about who's doing what sort of drawing on which layer. And you can only draw on your own layers as well. To add a layer, there's a little button, like a new page button, that will add a new layer. And to get rid of it, there's a little dustbin below to get rid of it.
Okay then, so now we know how to get the page the same size, in the same direction. We know how to get the brushes up, to get the colours up, to show the density, opacity, the size, and also how to create your own layers. That is really the best of what Aggie can do for what we're going to be doing today with the David Hockney Forgeries. Next part to work on is the actual collaboration. So we've got our image, and between me and Ben, we're going to decide who's going to do which bits. To start off with, it's really good to do the big block backgrounds, so that is going to cover your page, your digital canvas, get it all done, and then we're going to add the details on underneath. And then we're going to add the details on top, because details go on top. So if I was to say the backgrounds, we've got blues, we've got sort of whitey yellows where the mountains are, we've got darker blues, we've got greens from the hills, we've got greens from the lawn, we've got pinks from the road, and we've got a brown, sort of like a sandy brown for the tree. Is that a tree stumps? Is it a house? You've got browns. So between me and Ben, who's going to do what? I'm bagsying the pink road.
I'm going to go do the hill first, this big green hill in the background.
Okay. I'm going to bagsy the blue sky.
And I will do the mountain next to the blue mountain.
The blue mountain. Should I do the green lawn?
Yeah. And then I'll do the green fir trees, and maybe you could do the brown trunks.
Sure. And the green fir trees as well, even though they're quite detailed, I would do a background green to sort of mark out where it's going to be, type of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Done. Okay then. So now that we've decided that, we can get crack-a-lacking. So I'm going to change my green blue to Chloe blue sky. I said that I'd do Chloe pink road. I said that I would do the Chloe green lawn. Ben, which bits are you doing? Are you titling up your layers?
The blue mountain and the fir trees.
Yeah. Done. So now we all know what we're doing, because we have collaborated to decide which parts we're doing. We've labelled up our layers so that then we can make a start. So when you do, make sure that you click on the layer that you've said it's going to be. So say I've clicked on the blue sky, and I'm going to start to create the blue sky. And Ben, which bit are you doing?
Yeah, we can reorder those layers as well, Chloe. So you might want to drag your blue sky layer down to the bottom of the pile.
Yep.
So I'm going to start with the Blue Mountain and put that on there first. I'm going to pick quite a big brush, and
yeah, it's good to start big for the block backgrounds.
right. Oh, click the back button and do that.
Nice bit of opacity there, Ben.
Thank you. That's better. I'm happier with that. Right, got me mountain ridge in there.
Lovely.
I'm just going to outline the bit that I'm working on, and then shape it, colour it in.
I've gone quite thick with my blue. You've gone all opacity-esque.
Yeah, I thought I'd try and get some of those scratchy kind of brush marks in on the original.
I might do another layer to do that, because you can. Part of details, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm fairly happy with what I've done so far. I might move on to the green hill. Oops, I forgot to change my layer before I did that, so I'm just going to rename my layer.
Got Pink Road. And also, the other good thing about this as well, kids, is to keep talking to your partner and making sure that you're coordinating. Okay, coordinating is good. So I've got my pink sky, my blue sky, I've got my pink road, got a green lawn. Next, a bit more yellowy, I think. Hold on, are you taking your mountain all the way down?
This green hill, yeah, I'll do it all the way and then put the trees over the top.
I'm going to put a bit of yellow there because there's yellow lawn. Okay, bit of that. We've got a bit of brown house. So you'll be able to see, kids, where the layers are. Ben, if you move your layers up a bit so that kids can see.
Yeah.
So guys,
never mind.
So while you're doing it, Ben's managed to do a blue mountain and the green field at the hill at the same time. You've got my sky. Now at the moment, it looks as if my sky goes vertically down from the layers, and that's because we rearranged the position of the digital paper. But you can, even though this is what Ben can see what I'm doing as well on my layers. So it works very well.
At this stage, you can see that the layer I'm on, if you click the little eye, it makes the layer go invisible. You can see it's actually over the top of Chloe, what Chloe's doing. But it's, because it's on a different layer, it's not affecting her drawing. So it's not sort of drawing into or over or destroying her work. It's just over the top of everything.
And also, my brown background needs to be behind my brown house. So if I move it from the layers, it puts it in the background. So the ones lower down are in the background, and the ones higher up on the layers are in the foreground. So Ben started with his trees. I've got my layers in, although I think I haven't got that colour quite right. So at the moment, Ben, we've got our backgrounds in. So that's all nice and solid. And we're going to be working on the details now. Is that right, Ben?
Yeah. So I've already made a bit of a start because I've started on these fir trees.
Yes, it's got overexcited. But basically, kids, you can see that by going back, looking at your image and then looking to see your image and what you're creating and then talking between you, you can create something that is very David Hockney-esque style quite easily. But it does require you to talk with your partner and collaborate and build up from the back to the foreground. Okay, so I think, Ben, we're done. That is our David Hockney inspired forgery, and we have worked together on it. We've got details, we've got layers, we've got bits of interest. I think it's not looking too bad at all. So how do we now save this work?
So yeah, when you've got your work to a point that you think that it's finished, you can save your work by going to this little menu in the top left, oops, with a little picture on it, and then you can just choose export as JPEG, and that will download a copy of that to your computer.
So that's the end of today's session. You now have all the skills you need to use Aggie and to create your own David Hockney forgeries. If you would like to send us some of your images, we always like to see them, and you can email them to chloe@bom.org.uk. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.